with the company targeting the show for months as an opportunity to get some of the Raw audience to sample the product, including attempting to bring back all the available star power on the night, with the biggest being the Nitro return of Hulk Hogan after over 5 months. February 14th, with Raw preempted on the USA Network, and starting 2 hours later at 11 p.m. saw WCW going unopposed for what is hyped to be one of its biggest TV shows of the year, starting with Jeff Jarrett and the Harris brothers out, with Jarrett hyping his pay-per-view title match at Superbrawl, saying that everyone tried to hold him down but Sunday is his night, being confronted by Nash on the screen before a swerve of him being live in New York to take back his commissioner role, coming back from leg surgery after the last 3 weeks out, with his first decision back being adding Scott Hall into the main event Sunday to make it a 3-way for the belt, saying that they have a loaded show but he's gonna add another match, booking Seed vs. Jarrett in a non-title match for later tonight, with Scott Hall also in the headlines for different reasons in the past few days while on a big tour in Germany, drawing sold-out crowds for 3 shows in 3 cities between February 11th to 13th. Working 3 matches against Finney, with the talked-about issue happening while about to fly back to the US, with Hall not allowed on the plane Monday morning due to him reportedly not being in condition to fly, leading to Hall being forced to stay in Germany another day and miss tonight's Nitro, to lead to changes in the original script for the show. With Bill Goldberg's arm injury worse than originally thought to delay his comeback, with him at one point scheduled to return tonight, rumors on the new plans for his return now that Bret Hart is out for the foreseeable future were coming out for a potential program against Tank Abbott, with the idea of building up Abbott's shoot reputation as a threat to Goldberg, with him taking out several MMA fighters before the Goldberg-Abbott pay-per-view match. Nitro closed out the first hour with Kidman and Vampiro teaming up to build to their singles match on Sunday, with Kidman, who originally asked to leave the company with the Radicals group before being buried by Hogan in a radio interview saying that he could not headline a flea market, responded to the comments saying that the business has changed and WCW should invest in the younger wrestlers like him, with Nitro closing the first hour with a 3.3 rating and a 3 rating overall, the same rating it drew last week in the 8 to 9 hour. After not getting any new viewers to watch from the start in the first hour, Nitro picked up big at 9 p.m. with regular Raw viewers now tuning in and switching to TNT with Raw not on the air, bumping the show over 800,000 viewers from a 3.3 to a 3.9 rating, with WCW able to hold the new viewers throughout the broadcast, not dropping below a 3.9 rating, kicking off the second hour with a Singh vs. Mona match with Oklahoma on commentary, along with a series of skits of Disco surprising Vito and Johnny with a family wedding, and a Ric Flair backstage promo hyping the big match of the night against Hogan later in the show. With Hogan and Flair facing each other, their 2 Superbrawl opponents in Luger and Funk were set for the second most hyped match of the night after being advertised as a double main event leading up to Monday night, in addition to the Seed Jarrett match booked on the spot, going 5 minutes with Luger looking to break Funk's arm to bring out Arn Anderson for the save, with the Luger-Funk match seeing Nitro continue to climb, jumping over 400,000 viewers to a 4.1 rating, the second highest rated segment of the night. Nitro remained in the 4 rating range with a 3-way tag match of Flair and Crowbar, Johnny and Vito and Harlem Heat going 4 minutes, along with the start of a hardcore Bigelow vs. Wall match. With one of the big questions of the night being how much of the Raw viewership WCW will gain for a full unopposed night, after strong indications over the past month of each company having a mostly exclusive audience due to Raw not automatically spiking huge in its weekly unopposed hour. Nitro's direct competition on USA and the Westminster Dog Show, which went head-to-head for the entire program from 8 to 11, drew a 3.9 rating, with Raw by far the hottest show on cable television, outdrawing both Nitro and the Dog Show with a 4.3 rating despite starting at 11 and crossing over 1 a.m. With the Four Radicals members already leaving and Conan, Kidman and Douglas staying after also asking for their release, another name who joined the list was Chris Kanyon, reportedly meeting with Bill Bush tonight before Nitro went on the air to ask for his release, saying that Bush never explained his decision to demote Vince Russo to the roster while feeling that there's no chance for the less established names to move forward, with Kanyon also reportedly meeting Hogan minutes later and asking him about the comments made on Billy Kidman earlier in the week, with Hogan in the interview also leaving the door open for a return to the WWF for himself, with him praising Vince McMahon and saying that he can see a future Hogan vs. McMahon match selling out the Silver Dome again. After over 2 hours of hype, with the company building the advertising for the show around the match, including taking a full-page ad on USA Today, Flair and Hogan made their entrances at 10:10 p.m., with Hogan making his Nitro return for the first time since October '99, a week before the TV debut show of Russo and Ferrara and the company, returning to a massive ovation from the New York crowd to kick the match off at 15 minutes past Nitro's original ending time slot at 10:15 p.m., with Hogan on a media tour during the week to promote the show, including Monday morning with the final sell on New York radio, hyping his match against Flair tonight with indirect shots to the industry's new megastars in Rock, Austin and Goldberg, saying that unlike some wrestlers who only visit the main event for a few years, Flair like him was a headliner for the past 20 years, and the decision was made to book the big match on this date when Raw was preempted to attract the biggest audience possible, as Hogan and Flair went 9 minutes in their first televised singles match since '96, gaining over 900,000 viewers to peak the show with a 4.4 rating, Nitro's highest rating for any segment in over 3 months, ending up with Hogan having the match won until Luger interfered for the DQ finish, bringing out Funk to brawl with Flair, with Luger laying out Hogan in an injury angle to build the heat for their pay-per-view match on Sunday. After the Hogan-Flair match ended, Nitro, now over half an hour into its overrun, took a commercial break and had a cooling down segment with Ernest Miller just before the final match, with the Seed vs. Jarrett US title match placed in the main event position, and for that duration dropped over 1 million viewers from the show high 4.4 rating to a 2-hour low 3.3. with the Seed Jarrett match going 5 minutes in their pay-per-view main event preview, with the status of the three-way with Scott Hall still unknown 6 days from the event, picking viewers back up throughout the match to close the show with a 3.9 rating at 10:47 p.m., less than 13 minutes from when Raw will go on the air, with WCW gaining around 20% of the regular Raw audience to sample the product, drawing its highest rating since September '99 with a 3.9 rating during Raw's 9 to 11 hours and a 3.6 overall.